Hello and welcome to Verbling. Hi there. I'm teacher Oakley, and for the next hour, once again, it's time for famous quotes. And this week, we're going to be looking at the idiosyncratic, somewhat unusual, meandering ideas and thoughts of George Carlin. Okay. Michael, hey, how are you?
Hey Oakley, I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. It's good to see you. Haven't seen you all week.
Long time no see.
All right?
What's the word when you? I was missing you. Here you go.
Ah, okay. There you go. All right. Same. Nice to see you again. All right.
Thank you.
Great.
Nice to see you.
Terrific. Okay. And also, I need to welcome Tatiana. Always a
Thank
pleasure.
you.
Hello.
Me too.
Hello, hello. Okay. Hopefully, we'll have more folks join the class. But to start out with, who the heck is George Carlin? Do you know who George Carlin is?
I haven't got any
Tatiana?
idea. No, I haven't got any idea about him.
Michael, do you know George Carlin?
Nope. Off the top of my
No.
head, I cannot tell you who is he. Maybe
Okay.
if
All
you
right.
say something his works or what he did, maybe I can kind of know something a little bit. But no.
Well, let me see if Anatoly knows. Anatoly, it must be Saturday. Hello, Anatoly.
Hello, yes, you're right.
Welcome back. Good to have you aboard again. Hello,
Thank you.
hello. Uh, okay. A bunch of new people have joined us here. Wow, lots of new people. All right. Hello, Obaid. Hello.
Hello, teacher.
Welcome.
How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you. Welcome to the class. Hello, Rodrigo. Rodrigo's back. Hi there.
Hello,
Hey.
how
Nice to
doing?
have you in the class. I'm doing great, actually. And hello to Heidi. Hi, Heidi.
Hello, nice to see you
Hello
again.
again.
How's your
Likewise.
cold?
How's my cold?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's kind of lingering, but I don't even really notice it anymore, actually. I still have it a little bit, but yeah, mostly gone. Um, yeah, okay. Thank you for asking though.
thank you.
Um, you know what's what's kind of freaking me out actually is I get here at Verbling as a teacher, I get of course I get emails and updates and sometimes automated emails from Verbling. For example, when I forget to do class descriptions 3 days in advance, I get an automated email, which is a good reminder, and I think that's a great thing. Um, but unfortunately, their automated system has gone out of control, and I have now received like 2,000 automated emails in the last 2 hours.
Wow.
Ah! And so
Unbelievable.
yeah, I'm going to delete them all, but the problem is, what if one email that's important sneaks in there and I'm busy deleting 500 emails at a time? I'm a little concerned about that. So I have to kind of look through all of the emails, which is going to take me hours.
Wow.
uh, uh, isn't business fun? Isn't working fun? Well. Okay. In any case, that's my problem. So I'm much more worried about that, Heidi, than I am about my health.
Recently, I'm very lazy, so I accumulated over 500 mail.
Really? Oh my.
Yeah, I don't want to check it anymore.
Yeah. Email. It is a blessing and a curse, you know. Indeed. Okay. Poom. Hello, Poom. Welcome.
Hello, teacher.
Long time no see.
Yes.
Yeah, I like Saturday classes. I see a lot of students I haven't seen in a while. It's great. Okay. Today's class, it's famous quotes time again, and we're going to be looking at quotes from George Carlin. Who knows? Who knows who George Carlin is? Does anybody know?
Yesterday I watched film John Carson. I said maybe this man, but not. It's not the same.
Really? George Carlin with an L? No.
No,
maybe.
Yesterday I watched film John Carlin.
Oh, different guy. Okay, all right. George Carlin is a famous American comedian. Very popular. He started out in the 70s, 80s, 90s, and even into the 2000s. Unfortunately, he passed away. I'm quite surprised, actually. He's a very well-known comedian. You guys probably don't know him because he was never an actor. Many actors, many comedians become actors. So people around the world are more familiar with them because they evolve from a stand-up comedian, all right, on a stage in front of a live audience, and then they evolve their careers into actors. So I know you guys know many famous American comedians, but you know the actors. George Carlin never, ever did that. He had no desire to be an actor, and so he never was an actor. He, for I don't know, 35, 40 years, 35 years, he was a stand-up comedian only. And at least in America, very, very popular. Packed the house every time, guaranteed. Okay, well, we'll have a little insight into George Carlin here and look at some of his quotes and talk about them. After I say hello and welcome to Aod. Is it Eod or Aod?
Hello.
Hello. Should I pronounce your name?
Yeah, Eod.
Eod.
Yes.
Okay, Eod. Very good. Where are you from, Eod?
Originally, I'm from Middle East, Lebanon, but now I'm in the United States, in
You
Miami.
Miami. No kidding.
Yes.
Miami Vice. Okay. Where are you from originally? I missed it, the connection.
Lebanon, from Middle East, Lebanon.
Lebanon. Yeah, okay. All right. Okay. Cool. Okay, Iyad, welcome to the class.
Thank you.
Nice to have you aboard. And welcome, Nader. Hello, Nader.
Hi.
Howdy. Hi. Hi. Okay, welcome aboard. Let's get started looking at some quotes from George Carlin. Outside the class, hello, Tiago. How's it going? I think we're darn near full. We are full. Okay, let me do my screen share thing, and we'll start looking at these quotes. All right, here we go. Number one, Michael. Now, you were the first one in, so where are you, Michael? All right, Michael. You're the first one to join the class. Can you read the first quote?
Just cause you got the money off your back doesn't mean the circus has left town.
Of course.
Oh, monkey, not money.
Monkey. Yes.
Slip of my tongue.
Okay. Okay. All right. There's a couple interesting English things about this. First of all, cuz, of course, he's using the slang highly informal instead of because. In normal English speaking, we do this all the time. We reduce because to cuz, just cuz. Because I want to, that's why. Okay, now we also have an idiom here, which if you don't know, this is going to mess you up. Get the monkey off your back. Michael, are you familiar with this idiom?
Nope.
No, not at all. Let me throw it out to the class. Does anybody know what that means? To get the monkey off your back. Nader?
To get rid of the problem?
Well, in general, yes, that's exactly right. But more specifically, a monkey on your back refers to an addiction. All right? Alcoholism, gambling, drugs, cigarette smoking, whatever. Shopaholic, some form of addiction. If somebody has an addiction, I can say that he has a monkey on his back. All right? The monkey's on his back all the time, 24 hours a day. He's got a monkey on his back. Okay. We use this idiom to talk about an addiction. Okay. So, George Carlin takes the idea a little bit further. What do you think he means, Michael, by saying just because you got the monkey off your back doesn't mean the circus has left town?
So, what does he mean by got the monkey off your back? Like
he
you
means
get rid of
you,
addiction?
yes, that you have somehow gotten rid of an addiction, whatever,
What type of
however.
addiction? Like drugs?
Any type. He's not saying exactly.
Okay.
By using this idiom, it just expresses addiction. It doesn't really say what addiction. You can think of it as drugs, gambling, whatever.
Well, I presume there is like could be two meanings. First, I see at least. So first is that if you got rid of your addiction, you might be in risk to fall in that addiction again, like to start over. And second one is when so you got rid of the addiction, but you have like you have so after you took a lot of drugs, you have like effects on your health.
Okay. I hadn't thought of that, but okay.
So
there may be other effects.
Because of that. Yeah, you changed because of taking drugs, and the circus has left town. Doesn't mean like so you might be influenced because of that addiction. Not necessarily like drugs, but every addiction.
Okay, right. Okay, you could say that in English by talking about. Ooh, how do I spell it though? Lingering effects, something that lingers. Somebody cooks fish in your house. The smell lingers. Lingering effects. I hadn't thought of that, Michael. That's very good. Yeah, it could mean that. Okay. Also, since we're here learning English, you practically said it. Okay, you get the monkey off your back. If you start, you're at risk to start doing that. Start doing that action again. We have another idiom. Have you ever heard of this? Fall off the wagon. Do you know what that means? Does anybody know what that means for the class? Does anyone know what it means? Okay, does anyone know what it means if you fall off the wagon?
Maybe you have a difficult problem and you throw out from your shoulders like
that. No, you're thinking of it way too literally, or the opposite, on the wagon. If you are on the wagon, okay, that means that you're not doing some kind of action, maybe drinking. Usually it's for drinking. No thanks, I don't want a beer, I'm on the wagon. But you could use it about any other activity which is maybe habitual or addictive. Normally it's used to talk about alcohol and alcohol use and abuse. But if you're on the wagon, then you're not doing some activity anymore. So, for example, if you drink too much, you're on the wagon, maybe you're an alcoholic, you've got a monkey on your back. If you fall off the wagon, that means you drank again. You were sober, you didn't drink for, I don't know, whatever, 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months, 3 years, and you fell off the wagon. You started doing that addictive behavior again. Or even just you did it one time. You went to a wedding and you hadn't drank for 3 years. I went to the wedding and I fell off the wagon. I had a couple drinks. Like that. Okay. I'm surprised none of you know that. This is a very common idiom, and people don't say, they just don't say, English speakers don't say, I started drinking again. They don't say it. They always say, oh, I fell off the wagon. They use this idiom 99% of the time. Okay, so if you're with a business associate and he says, you offer him a drink and he says, no thank you, I'm on the wagon, that means he's quit drinking at least temporarily, if not forever. Okay, interesting. And you know, I personally think that Michael kind of nailed two possibilities here that George Carlin meant. Does anybody else in the class have any other ideas for this quote? Does anybody have any other possible interpretations of this quote? I like Michael's answers, to be honest. And I agree, it could be kind of two ways. All right? Nobody? All right, that's kind of basic, but I wanted to share it because it has definitely has idiomatic language that you should know. All right, I'm gonna move on. Tatiana.
Okay.
Can you read this next one?
Have you ever noticed that anybody driving slower than you is an idiot, and anyone going faster than you is a maniac?
Yeah. Yes. Pronunciation: idiot.
Idiot.
Idiot. Yeah. Is okay. Tatiana,
have you ever noticed that? All the time. My husband all the time noticed, as I know. Yes. All the time he does this. Yeah. When he drives the car, he sees that who in front of him drives slower than he, and someone who rushed across him, he said that he's a maniac. But sometimes I said to him, please slower, please slower.
Yes, that's the funny thing. You tell him go slower, so maybe you think he's a maniac. All right. Yeah. So it doesn't matter who you are, and it doesn't matter how fast or slow that you drive compared to you when you think about other people. If they drive too slow, then they're an idiot. And if they drive too fast, they're a crazy maniac. Okay. I personally love this quote. Okay. Let's see. Raj, let's see. Okay. Who's next? It doesn't matter. Let's see. Okay, Poom. Do you have any? Poom, are you there? Yes. Do you think there's any deeper meaning to this? Do you think he's just saying something funny, or do you think there could be a deeper meaning to this quote?
No, I don't.
You don't see? Okay. Rodrigo, how about you?
I think people is never satisfied with
Okay.
So they never want they want always better. If someone is slower than him, they think he's an idiot. So if he's faster, they think he's a maniac. So he's not satisfied with nothing.
Okay, so you're saying that the speaker, the person who's thinking, which would actually be all of us, because he's posing this as sort of a rhetorical question. Basically, then we all think we're superior automatically. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I see too. Do you think that's true, Rodrigo? Do you think people automatically assume they're superior to everyone else?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. I don't know. Okay. Obeid, do you agree with that idea? Do human beings in general, do humans just think that they're superior to everyone else?
Yes, I agree.
Do you think that's true? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Is it completely? Is it always true, or just? Oh, I don't know. 99% of the time.
Sometimes it's true.
Sometimes it's true. Okay. Nader, any thoughts about this quote? Do you like this quote?
Yes, I like it. I believe that everyone thinks that he's perfect, and we all the time criticize other people, whatever they do. We think we judge people by our beliefs. If we are driving, slowly, we think that other people are maniac. When we are driving fast, we think that other people are too slow. This we have a similar saying that when God, everyone is satisfied with his mind, but nobody is satisfied with his fortune. Everyone thinks that he's very smart. But when it comes to money, one thinks that he deserves better. But no one thinks that he deserves a better mind.
Okay, I like that. Very good. Yeah, okay, very good, Nader. Thank you. Nice observation. That's great. Yeah. Yeah, that's very good. That's very interesting. Okay. Heidi, do you have any other thoughts about this?
I took it.
Idea?
I took it vice versa. For example, people, or maybe all people, humankind, think about themselves as a very clever first, but from other side, you think clever, but a little worse. People think you're a maniac, and other more clever people think you are idiot. So nobody values you as you are clever.
Okay. All right. That's an interesting observation as well. All right. Okay. Ayad.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi. Yeah, I was listening to you guys. Yeah, I agree with all of you. It's like, it's in our mind. Like, sometimes I like how someone acts because my thoughts actually the same. And sometimes I don't agree with other guy because my thoughts are different. So it's always about prejudging people, how we judge people,
Yeah. Yeah,
sometimes we don't agree, but it's always about the prejudging people. So we have to accept all people. Yeah, like always.
Very good. And I think, by pointing out this very simple activity that most of us do, drive, we're all familiar with this, but we don't think about the fact that we're constantly prejudging people all the time. But
Exactly.
you know, if somebody asks me, Ayad, oh, do you judge people? I might say no, I don't judge people. I don't
No, we all
prejudge
do. We
people,
all do,
but
yeah.
we all do, and that's just
Exactly. And depending on our thoughts, it's like automatic, you know? Yeah.
right. And even it's even more random than that. Our thoughts at any given time. You know, I have a fight with my wife, and I drive to work. There's a lot more idiots on the road today.
Yeah. Actually, it's a normal day today, right? Yeah.
But actually, it's a normal day. But I had a fight with my wife, so I can't
Exactly.
believe how many idiots are on the road today. Yeah, I like that, Ayad. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. Yeah, I think
Exactly.
that
Actually, me.
idea is in this quote.
Yeah. Sorry,
Yeah,
go ahead. Sorry.
I'm done.
Yeah. No, I was saying that I actually like suffered with those ideas. Now I'm working on myself to change my thoughts, my idea, to accept people, to like be everyday calm, positive thinking, you know? Yes, so
Yeah.
for this quotes, I really, this all about me, you know? Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Ayad. That was a. Thank you very much for sharing your ideas. It was very
Okay.
illuminating.
Yeah.
Anatoly, any last thoughts here?
I remembered about theory of relativity
Relativity,
because
indeed.
it is applying to that case. We can think about how definite person could measure speed of others, comparing it with him or herself speed.
Yeah.
Driving on
You
the
know,
roads.
Anatoly, I really get angry at the planet Mercury. It's just spinning way too fast. It's annoying me, you know. And then there's Jupiter, which just goes far too slow. Woo. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. It's all relative. In other words, yeah. Very funny. Okay. All right. Here's another silly quote for us. Um, Rodrigo, can you read this one for us?
Okay. Uh, Freevetarianism is the belief that when you die, your soul goes up on the roof and gets stuck in.
Okay. We have get stuck. Yeah. We have some interesting elements of English to talk about here. First of all, Rodrigo, do you know what a frisbee is?
No.
It's a noun. It is. Does anybody? Let me throw it out to the class. Who knows what a frisbee is?
Like toy? Like
Yes.
flying
Like flying saucer toy. That's exactly right. You flick your wrist and you spin it and you can throw it back and forth. I love playing frisbee. I won't lie. I'm really good at it. I can jump in the air and catch it behind my back and behind over my shoulder, throw it between my legs, right hand, left hand. Woohoo! I love playing with the frisbee. Okay. Now, the main problem with the frisbee is that it always gets lost. Somebody throws it badly. And there it goes. Okay. The other. What's that?
Usually it's me who throw the frisbee away.
It's you who
Yeah.
throws it away? Yeah. All right.
Usually.
You get stuck climbing trees to try to get it. Okay. All right. The other element of English that we should talk about is that George Carlin has taken the liberty of just adding a bunch of suffixes, word endings, ism in particular, to create his own idea. Of course, isms are abstract ideas, which are nouns, but you know, patriotism, nationalism, all right, globalism, all the isms. All right. They are, in general, beliefs, abstract beliefs. So, being goofy and very creative, as George Carlin is, he's kind of making up a new philosophy here. So, Rodrigo, back to you. All right. Would you follow this belief?
Not really.
No, not really. Okay. What do you think George is trying to say here? I think he's actually making a point.
Yeah. I think it's like you said, because frisbee always get lost. And
Okay.
As do the soul.
Your soul always gets lost? Ah, that's an interesting. Okay, that's a parallel. You're making a comparison. You're making a parallel between a frisbee and your soul. Interesting. Okay, thank you. Poom. Is your life like a frisbee, Poom? Do you get thrown here and there? Sometimes with great direction, sometimes completely lost. Sometimes with great style, sometimes with no style. What do you think, Poom? Is George Carlin trying to say something else here, do you think? Is he implying something?
I don't understand this quote.
Okay. That's all right. That's all right. Yeah, I'm just thinking that there's a reason he makes up this ism word. And so many isms are beliefs that humans fight and die for every day. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. Maybe I see more than there is. Obeid, do you have any thoughts about this idea?
This is every word we can understand every word, but together we can't pick out the meaning.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yes.
Yes, you can. This is not a word, by the way. You can see the red line in the Microsoft Word document. This is not really a word. It's a made-up word. By the way, in English, we do make up words, especially to be humorous, funny, cynical, sarcastic. Yeah, we do it all the time in English. Nader, any thoughts about this?
I'm not sure. Maybe you hope that when you die you go to heaven, like when you throw a frisbee, you hope that it will reach its goal. But maybe you're wrong. You will never reach it. Maybe.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe you die and you just end up on the roof. Yeah, okay. Michael, any thoughts about this? I'm just curious if anybody gets anything out of this. All right. Heidi? No?
No.
No. Sorry. No, not really? Okay. Ayad?
It's a stupid quote.
In your opinion, Michael. That's
Sure,
your
my opinion. I mean, there is no, I don't see any meaning in it.
Okay. Maybe that's because you're shallow, Michael.
How's that?
Maybe because you don't particularly think very deeply.
We all shallow because I have no clue what that means.
Okay. It's a made-up word. It's kind of a joke word. I think he's just being sarcastic, really. He is, all the idioms. Think about it. Nationalism. Everybody fights and dies for nationalism, and all of the religions of the world. Okay, everybody knows when you die, your soul goes up to heaven, right? Well, I think he's creating a word, a silly, silly word to express that many of our isms that we fight and die for and believe with all our hearts and souls are equally valid to frisbeeitarianism. That's my opinion. He's kind
Yes,
of
I think.
mocking the idea of absolute isms as abstract ideas which people should live and die for, actually. Tatiana?
I
I'm
think
sorry.
it's pseudoscience.
Pseudoscience?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you mean? Isms in general or just this particular quote?
But a particular freebie terrorism. It's
Oh yeah,
pseudoscience.
it's made up. It's silly.
Yeah.
It's not serious in any way. You must realize that it's totally just goofiness. Okay, let's move on. Anatoly.
Yes. Okay.
Can you read any last thoughts on frisbeeitarianism, or can we
Mm,
move on?
I suspect that he created this quote as a joke, and
Yes.
he thought, what could think about this quote people. It's
Yeah.
interesting because I put together randomly some words, but I can think that it could means we don't care about something. We put the plate freebie to the air. We don't know how its track could be, and
Ah.
mm, maybe this one. But the
Oh.
first thought which I decided to uh, this quote meant is it is randomly put together words
Yeah.
without meaning.
Well, well, there's lots of words with tarianism, vegetarianism. Okay. So this whole construction here is actually sort of a common ending. But I kind of like that parallel between okay, your life, you think you're in control like a frisbee, and sometimes you're not, and you end up on the roof. Okay, let's look at the next one here. Anatoly, can you read this one for us?
Okay, some people see things that are and ask why. Some people dream of things that never were and ask why not. Some people have to go to work and don't have time for all that.
Yeah. Okay. Uh, what is your impression of this quote?
He described different type of characters. For example, workaholics. They are happy in their life. They don't have time for doing useless things. And people who prefer to lie on the couch, they are asking themselves about lots of philosophical things, which is useful for everyday life. They have time, and he compared that type of characters.
Yeah. Right. Okay. And is Tatiana, is that all well and good? Is that the way it should be? There has to be dreamers, and there has to be, but even we can't all be dreamers. You know. Do you agree, Tatiana, or? I mean, that's what I kind of get out of it. You can't all be dreamers. Some people have to actually do the work, get water to your house, produce food on a farm so you can eat. We all can't sit around looking at the clouds.
Yeah, some people don't want to go for a walk. They try to be freelancer or maybe like that.
Okay.
But for example, some people see things that are and ask why. For example, for me, it's maybe just directly, but I know that my daughter will come and she knocked the door and I asked, "Is that you?" Of course, is he, is she. It's
Okay.
obviously she's, and I ask, "Is that you?" Or maybe on a phone, I know who calls me and I ask, "Is that you?" Of course, I recognize the voice and why I ask.
Okay. That's an interesting observation. All right. Okay. Rodrigo, any more thoughts about this? Do you think it's just practical? It's life. I mean, what do you think? Should everybody be a dreamer? So everybody dream a little bit? Should you know, ask themselves philosophical questions? What do you think about that?
I think everyone should be a dreamer. But have to work too.
Well, you're young, Rodrigo. You'll get over it.
I am a dreamer.
I'm joking with you.
I think he's just making fun. I don't see any meaning.
Okay. All right. Does anybody else have any observations about this quote? Anybody else in the class?
This is a good one. Quote. I like this quote. So basically, I understand that some people, what they see, they ask about that. What they see, like what they don't understand. For example, they see something they don't understand, they ask. But other people like invent things, or they do something out the box. Yeah, outside the box.
Okay, they think outside of the box.
Yeah, but can you say they do something outside of the box?
I know we usually use the idiom they think outside of the box, and so then
Okay.
you can add the idea after, and then they create something.
Yeah. So they think outside the box, and they always like they don't have boundaries or something like about that. They think that almost everything is possible. But some people go to work and don't have time for all that. They just live their routine. They have a routine like from 8 to 5 work, and that's all. And they don't ask questions why or why not, something like that. This is kind of a good one with some meaning.
Actually, I see it differently.
Okay. Nader, go ahead.
So I think he says that practical people who are down to earth are better than those who just dream, always dreaming and ask useless questions. So if we link this to the other quote, this Presbyterianism, those who are just have philosophical ideas, who are thinking all the time about useless things, who have those beliefs, will never will never achieve anything in life. Just go and work, do whatever you need to do, and don't stop and dream all the time.
Oh, okay. All right. Interesting. Yeah, it's possible to interpret it different ways. Anybody else have any ideas here? Ooh, the next one. Okay, are we ready to move on? All right. Let's move on. First of all, I need to welcome, is it Sergio? Serge? I can't see your full name. You just entered the class. Hello, I'm Teacher Oakley. What is your name? Is it Sergio? Serge?
Do you hear me, sir?
Well, not very well. Could you say hello again? I think you have connection problems or possibly settings problems. I can barely hear you. It's kind of robot sound.
Okay.
Okay. Try to get that fixed. And yeah, well. Yeah, there you go. Log back in again. Okay, Poom.
Yes.
You haven't had a lot to say here. So, what do you think about this quote?
Cynical person. What does it mean?
Oh boy. Okay. A cynic. Cynical is the adjective. A cynic is the noun. Okay. A cynical person is somebody basically usually pessimistic. Pessimistic meaning that they think that things will go wrong. They don't have a lot of faith that good things are going to happen. Basically, a cynical person has a lot of experience. They've seen it happen before, and they don't really have faith. They lack faith in humanity. They lack faith that people will do the right thing. They think people will basically act like people and cheat and steal. And cynical people are quite pessimistic. Okay? And they speak cynically. Oh, sure. And they're often, it goes hand in hand, it goes together with sarcastic. A cynical person is often sarcastic. The president announced today that we're gonna raise the budget to poor people. A cynical person would sarcastically say, "Oh yeah, right, that's gonna happen." Sure. Yeah, I've heard that before. Okay, so the quote, Poom, inside every cynical person, there's a disappointed idealist. What do you think of that? You're all kinds of stuck today.
Yeah, definitely. I am the difficult to understand the quote.
Yeah, there's some difficult vocabulary. George Carlin has a pretty complex vocabulary. You like this one? I like this one too.
Yeah, it's like implying that a cynical person became because he was an idealist and he saw like everything like ideal, like should be like that. Every person should be a good person, no bad in the world. But when he saw that there is a lot of things going on, like there is no dark and white, but there is gray color, so they become a cynical person.
Yeah, I think that pretty much. Yeah, that for me anyway. That pretty much defines what he's trying to say. I think. Do you think that's true, Michael? Do you think that's a valid idea?
Well, I don't know. It's a good quote, but I don't think every cynical person. I think most of them maybe, or some of them, because to say like that, you should make a research, to conduct a research or something, or to ask every cynical person. But most of them, I presume it's true. If we say most of this, but if you say most of the cynical person, most of cynical people, it's not sounds so good, so that's why he wrote every.
Right. That's right. Okay, every, all, nothing, never. These are definitely, these are called absolutes or
absolutes. Yeah.
Absolute adverbs, absolute adjectives, and yeah, you have to be wary of those in real life. You will see them used in philosophical expressions, philosophical ideas, in academic writing, speaking, essays. You never see using use of absolutes, because science is not absolute. Scientific papers do not include words like every. So this is definitely, you mentioned there should be an experiment. Well, this is totally removed from the idea of science and experimentation. Your idea, if it's, you know, you're talking about absolutes, scientific papers never, if you carefully read a scientific paper in English, you will never see absolute language. It's always written in general or generalities, in general language, because science isn't like that. That's
no.
Yeah.
For example, I can ask him, "How do you know that everything? Like, show me,
right.
where
You'd
did
have
you
to
find
prove
it?"
it. But
Yeah.
but science doesn't really. People conceive that science is absolutes and things are, they aren't, and they can be scientifically proven. But actually, that's not how science works at all. People misunderstand science. That is, science always questions. There's always a question if the data is correct. The only thing science never says something is. Science always says the theory is, the idea is. Science doesn't deal in absolutes. That's a misconception by the general public. That's not what science is. So these absolutes, this only philosophers deal in absolutes, and comedians, I guess. Yeah. Anyway, anybody else have anything to say about this quote? Does anybody strongly agree with it or strongly disagree with this?
I don't disagree with this.
Nate?
I disagree with this.
You disagree?
So,
Really?
disagree because many pessimist people are you are not born pessimistic. I agree that you are not born optimistic or pessimistic, but your experience defines what you become. I link pessimism with bad luck. If you are lucky, you become optimist, because your past experience makes you optimist. But those unlucky people, sure, they become pessimist in the end.
Okay. Interesting point. And I like your point that you're not born a pessimist or an optimist. I wonder if that's true. What scientific experiment could we do? Yeah, I haven't really seen any babies that are overly pessimistic. Okay.
And I also saw bad people who are cynical. So
sure.
They are not disappointed idealists or something.
I see. I see what you're saying. Okay, so again, we have the problem with every. Again. All right. Sometimes it's true. It's true for me. Okay, here's a stupid quote, but I kind of like it. Ayad, can you read this one for me?
I was away. Okay. The very existence of flamethrowers prove that sometime, somewhere, someone said to themselves, you know, I want to set those people over there on fire, but I'm just not close enough to get the job done. Let me read it again. I have no idea the very existence of flame.
The very existence, the fact that they exist, the fact they are, the only reason they were ever invented, flamethrowers. You know what a flamethrower is? A weapon of war. It shoots a flame about, I don't know, 30 meters, some ridiculous length. Okay. All right. So, okay. I don't think there's any very deep meaning in here, other than the fact that, of course, he's pointing out that somebody at some point decided I need to set some people on fire, but they're too far away. Yeah. Of course, you can say this about any weapon. Of course. All right. Anybody have any thoughts about this? I mean, I don't think there's anything too deep here. He likes to point out the obvious, okay? Sometimes George Carlin, his sense of humor, you may not find it humorous yourself. Sometimes his sense of humor is simply pointing out what is completely obvious to everyone, but nobody really thinks about. Okay, one more to share with you, and especially you married gentlemen. Okay, Obeid, could you read this one?
Yes, I am is reportedly a sentence in the language. Could it be that I do is the longest sentence?
Aha. Does anyone, we only have a couple minutes left, does anyone understand the irony of this statement? Does anyone get it?
I understand the second part. I do, like in the wedding. Do you agree to marry him? Yes, I do.
Yes, that's right.
This is the longest sentence, but I don't know what is the I am.
The irony. The irony is a sentence okay, here they're saying I am is reportedly the shortest sentence, as in English, as in we learn words and sentences and paragraphs. Sentence. In the second sentence, first meaning, I do is the longest sentence. A sentence is also your punishment when you commit a crime. The judge sentences you to 20 years in prison. So, all right. Although these two sentences are only three letters, right, is the longest sentence. It's a life sentence, right? That's the idea. Okay, ha ha ha. Okay. All right. Okay, I hope no one's overly sensitive about religion, but I think this one's kind of funny, and I'm actually curious what you might think of this. Sergio, are you? Are you working? Okay, Anatoly. What's that?
I hear you. I hear you now. Do you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Very good.
Okay.
All right, let's give you a chance to do something in the class. Can you see the screen share? Can you read this for me?
Yeah. I don't see anything in the screen.
Okay.
Okay, there it is.
There it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was thinking about... Sorry?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. I was thinking about how I don't see anything. Okay. I was thinking about how people seem to read the Bible a whole lot more as they get older. Then it dawned on me they're cramming for their final exam.
Okay. Okay, first of all, the expression, it dawned on me. Suddenly, I had the idea. Something I couldn't figure out for a long time. It dawned on me. Aha! Okay. Right? They're cramming for their final exam. All right.
What is exactly the meaning of dawned?
Okay, it dawned on me is suddenly I realized. Then it dawned on me is just like saying, then I realized.
Okay.
Aha, then I realized They're cramming for their final exam. Do you know what cramming is? You study the last minute for a test, like in university. You cram for an exam.
That's so familiar for me.
It does. Okay. All right. Whatever your religion, don't think about it too much that it says the Bible. I think the general idea here is people get more religious when they get older, as they really approach the end of their lives. Do you think that's true or not true? Or
yes, and maybe people became more religious when they have a lot of troubles, a lot of problems, and maybe when they're in prison.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I like the idea that they're cramming for a final exam. I do. It's kind of funny. Okay, I'm way overtime again. I keep going overtime in my classes. You know, I get in trouble from verbling when I don't start classes on time. Which I do all the time because I always go
2,000 emails.
Yeah, no kidding. Now I'll get another 2,000 emails about late classes. Help! Okay. Thank you, guys. I have to go. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. See